Might be a little late to the party on this one, but today let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Soul. I was very interested in this device when it first released because it was one of the first prepaid budget phones under $100, in my opinion, really budget phones, that you could get running Android 6.0 Marshmallow. It's been sitting on my desk for a little while not being opened, so let's open it and see what makes it tick. Of course, you can see here 4G LTE speed with Android 6 Marshmallow, 5-inch HD display meaning 720p, 5 megapixel rear facing, 2 megapixel front facing cameras, 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor, presumably a Samsung Exynos processor. It doesn't seem to say anywhere, but I've seen a few spec sites that mention Samsung Exynos. 2600 milliamp hour battery, which again for a budget phone is not bad. And you can use it as a mobile hotspot if that's your thing. But tearing into it, literally, you get all kinds of just Cricket information, activation stuff, getting a $5 credit when you sign up for AutoPay, quick start guide for the Galaxy Soul, and a health and safety warranty guide for the Galaxy Soul as well. USB cable, charging brick, and the charging brick is 5 volts at 1 amp. Removable battery, very nice, and a Cricket Nano SIM in case you need it. And then, of course, the phone. Let's go ahead and get all of this plastic peeled off the outside. All down the sides. There we go. All along the bottom. I do find it kind of amusing that these phones that cost less than $100 have a lot more plastic protection all over them than the phones that cost like $800. Maybe that's just me. Now this one is the shiny gold champagne type color. Looks like the back was already about halfway off. So let me go ahead and stick the battery in here. There we go. And as you can kind of see up here, you've got 2 slots, one for the SIM card and one for the micro SD card. So you can expand the storage if the included storage is not enough for you. This does have 8 gigs of built-in storage, which again, for a budget device like this is more than a lot of them do come with. But let's go ahead and just power it up and we'll see what it looks like. Plays a little theme tune for you for Cricket, and it's time for the setup. And just to go ahead and mention it there, it does not see any of the 5 gigahertz networks around here, but that's all right. Again, budget device. And we didn't actually take any time to go over the hardware itself. So here on the front, you have that 5-inch display. You've got 3 buttons here at the bottom, 2 capacitive, 1 physical. I don't think this has a fingerprint reader built into it, but you have your multitasking and your back buttons. On the bottom is the USB port and a microphone. On the side is the volume rocker. The other side is the power button. On top is your 3.5mm headphone jack and presumably noise canceling microphone. And then that 5 megapixel camera with flash on the back and your rear facing speaker. All right, and skipping ahead just a few steps, we are now at the home screen of the device. You can see we do not have a SIM installed, but just the home screen itself, it looks like standard TouchWiz. Got a few Cricket apps pre-installed here that show up. Let's go through the apps drawer very quickly. See a few Cricket apps as I mentioned, just Deezer, MyCricket, and Visual Voicemail. We've got a bunch of Google apps pre-installed, a couple of Samsung apps, but they're nothing really out of the ordinary, and actually just 1 page of apps because of the folders. So again, very, very minimal. Going into your settings, this is kind of laid out like the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. If we go to About Device, you can see there it does say Android version 6.0.1 from March 2016, and that's kind of interesting. I just got an email. I get an email every time a new device signs in on my account. It said new sign-in from Samsung Galaxy J3 2016. So apparently, even though this is called the Galaxy Soul on Cricket, this is the Galaxy J3. So I'll probably put that in the tags and maybe the title and description and stuff too, just to sort of hit all points. It's definitely taking its time looking for software updates though. Now actually digging into some of the other settings here, in the display menu I see it has a screen mode. Same sort of option you see on the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. By default it's adaptive display, but you can change it to take advantage of the AMOLED display. This one has the same AMOLED display, just a much lower quality resolution. And you can set it to basic, which should help battery life a little bit, but you sacrifice some of the color. I prefer to use the adaptive display. Well, it's still taking its time looking for updates. Let's keep looking around. Inside of the camera app, we don't want location, but up here you can see picture size, 5 megapixel 4x3 is the highest. It's set to 3.7, 16:9 by default. If we go ahead and tap this little cogwheel up here, you can see video size is HD on the rear camera. So it's HD at 1280x720. A little disappointing not to have 1080p, but it costs less than $100. It's really hard to be too upset about it. Moving to the front facing camera, again 4x3 at 2 megapixels is the default. And then for video size, the max you're gonna get is VGA 640x480. So the camera is not gonna be terribly impressive, just to be honest there. But just in case you're curious, here is a very quick 1280x720 at 30 frames per second sample, so things are probably going to look a little bit weird. This video, the main video, is 1080p 60. Again, it's 1280x720. it's going to throw things off a little bit. And just taking a quick second to look back over that video, it didn't look terrible. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. Certainly usable if like you need to capture just a very quick clip and this is the only phone that you have anywhere nearby. And it does not appear that it's actually going to find the updates at this point. I've let it go for like 5 to 7 minutes at this point. It's not doing anything. So all in all, if you're looking for a budget device, a sub $100 device, I just checked, it's still $100 over on Best Buy. I'm sure it's the same price over on Amazon. If not, the Galaxy J3 2016 model is probably the same price elsewhere as well, so find it for the carrier of your choosing if you're interested. Nice to be able to find a relatively inexpensive device that still has a halfway decent camera and a pretty decent looking OS on top of it with minimal stuff installed. So I'll go ahead and put a couple of links to where you can find this down in the description if you're interested in checking it out. It's plasticky, it's low powered, it's sub $100, you can't expect everything. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to receive all of my videos moving forward. Just lets you know whenever I put out new stuff, and I put out new stuff pretty regularly. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you again next time.